and a happy Christmas Eve. 23rd day of December 2024. It's a Monday. I am Dan Kuntz. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Pretty quiet week as far as us around here at the Broadcast Metroplex. And for a lot of people, really, some people are going to be, working half days or taking some time off, or like us, going to work but really not working real hard. Of course, all the local schools are on the winter break and will be for the next couple of weeks. Good for them. Hopefully they're not sleeping in. Hopefully you're watching the show. As far as weather is concerned, this is going to be the quietest day of the entire holiday week. Not a lot happening today. Things are going to start happening on Tuesday and Christmas Day proper. And right on into the weekend, much warmer than normal temperatures. Rain on the valley floor, snow in the upper elevations, especially Wednesday night, Christmas night into Thursday. If you're traveling on Christmas night over the mountain passes, it could get very dicey indeed. All of those details are coming up, but this very mild weather continues, and unless you head elsewhere, we're not going to have a white Christmas, at least here in the Wenatchee Valley, as the snow continues to dissipate. News? Yes, quite a bit. Sports. Seahawks could have had probably their biggest win of the year. They were that close, and then they didn't. Highlights of the Vikings and the Seahawks from Lumen Field yesterday. We'll do all the high school sports over the weekend. I'll let you know how the college football playoffs panned out on weekend number one. We'll have that. And Bob Boogert is back in a job that he had for a long time. Bob Boogert is back as the executive director of the Chelan Douglas Land Trust. Bob left that organization in 2017. They brought in a new executive director. That executive director was let go in late autumn, and they needed somebody to come in and take the reins again. And so Bob Boogert, after being the executive director from 2007 to 2017, is back as the executive director of the Chelan Douglas Land Trust. He sat down with their very own news director, Jefferson Robbins, last week. We'll have that conversation for you in the back half of the program. So it's a lot to get to on this Monday, and we have two slides, weather pertinent slides, to show you. First of all, here is the week that will be. Again, as far as today is concerned, absolutely the quietest day of the week. It's just going to be cloudy and foggy and mild. It's 33 right now. The roads are a little slick. We had a little bit of freezing rain last night, so some of the roadways are a little on the dicey side. Just a heads up on that. But it's the Monday commute with everybody taking time off and no school. It's pretty light traffic anyway. Not a lot to talk about today anyway. And then things are going to get a little interesting tonight into Tuesday. Some rain here in the Wenatchee Valley, some light snow in the mountain passes. The heaviest snowfall is definitely going to be Wednesday night. Stevens Pass is going to get hammered with quite a bit of snow on Christmas night, spilling into Thursday. We're going to be way too warm for snow. We could get some light snow on Christmas Day early in the morning on Wednesday. Outside of that, it's just going to be too warm. We'll be near 40 for the afternoon high on Wednesday, and we're going to see the overnight lows above what would normally be our daily high temperatures, and our daily high temperatures are going to be a good 10 degrees above normal. So there's your weather impact outlook for the entire holiday week, and it is a holiday week with Christmas falling right in the middle of it. As far as mountain pass travel is concerned, no real concerns today or tomorrow. Wednesday on Stevens Pass, it could get a little interesting. So actually, I-90 for the most part, Snoqualmie Pass, is going to be pretty transversable really all the way through the holiday week. They're expecting some snow on I-90 again on Wednesday night, not so much during the day, but late in the afternoon into the evening hours, spilling into Thursday morning on I-90. But Stevens is going to get a lot of snow. Stevens could get a couple of feet of snow Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday night, all the way into Thursday and all the way into Friday. So Stevens looks pretty dicey. The other major mountain passes, although they will get some snow, doesn't look to be too bad over the holiday season. So there you go. We're going to have several rounds of moderate rain, but they're going to have some pretty heavy snow in the Cascades, especially Wednesday night into Thursday. In detail, from the National Weather Service, we have fairly clear skies right now. We'll see the clouds begin to thicken up as the day progresses. 42 forecast high today. For the record, we hit 36 on Saturday and 36 on Sunday. It was just kind of a gray, cloudy day, but we did see some more snow melt. Rain tonight, pretty heavy rain at times, 36 for the overnight low. The chance of rain is 100% tonight. So, but again, light snow in the Cascades, rain down here on the valley floor. Rain tapers off Tuesday morning. Then we'll see some sunshine by Tuesday afternoon and a high of about 40. Partly cloudy on Christmas Eve proper. Tomorrow night, overnight low about 32 for Christmas Day. Snow level is going to start out at 900 feet. That's us. It'll go up to about 2,000 feet in the afternoon, but by that time, most of the precipitation in the valley floor will have spent itself out. With again, snow in the mountain passes, especially Wednesday night. The snow level Wednesday night is going to be about 2,000 feet. We're going to have rain on Christmas night, 34 for the overnight low. More rain on Thursday, more rain on Friday, more rain on Saturday, more rain on Sunday. Very mild temperatures. So there you go. White Christmas, you will have to go elsewhere, for instance, to the Mid-Ohio Valley or maybe out to Lake Wenatchee or certainly up in the mountains, because here in the Wenatchee Valley, it's going to be very, very mild for most of the week. All right, we're going to take a break and come back with the news on this Monday. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel.
Between juggling groceries, preparing meals, and lending a helping hand, you're a hero without a cape. But who's there to support you? Aging and Adult Care honors caregivers like you, the relatives, friends, and neighbors, helping loved ones remain safely at home. Aging and Adult Care offers chore services, respite, personal care, and more. Serving Chelan, Douglas, Grant, Lincoln, Adams, and Okanagan counties, call Aging and Adult Care at 1-800-572-4459 for caregiver support.
Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, located on South Wenatchee Ave, has the largest selection of spas and swim spas in town. Stay cool this summer in an artesian swim spa and use it all year long. We enjoy helping families reconnect one spa at a time. Hot tubs are proven to improve sleep and decrease arthritis pain. Our passion is water, so please bring us a water sample, and we will help you diagnose your pool or spa water for free. Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, your pool and spa experts.
Have you ever played that game, What Would You Rather, where you give two options to see what your friend would choose? Well, let's try it. What would you rather? Would you rather have a telemarketer from a foreign call center named David, or a local North Central Washington agent who has been helping folks for over 20 years on Medicare and has 5 offices to serve you, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. So, what would you rather? Now give us a call at Springwater Insurance. Our phone number, 509-888-2600.
Global Car Care has the best customer service in the Valley. From the moment you walk in the door, their goal is to help you stay on the road, so you can keep doing what's important to you. Global Car Care certified ASE mechanics stand behind your automotive repairs.
Pretty clear skies, some fairly slick streets right now. It's 33 degrees. We'll be up in the lower 40s today. The clouds are going to be rolling in as the day progresses, but it's going to be pretty calm. And then we're talking about rain tonight, rain on Thursday or Tuesday, rain on Christmas Day, Wednesday, heavy snow in the mountain passes Wednesday night into Thursday. Just too warm down here for anything but rain as far as precipitation is concerned. It's 9 minutes after the hour. A Wenatchee woman is being held responsible for a head-on collision. This happened between two SUVs just over the summit of Blewett Pass on the Kittitas County side of the summit. It happened just after 7 o'clock on Saturday night. The Washington State Patrol says 52-year-old Susan A. Struick, she was northbound on Highway 97 near milepost 163 when her 2015 Honda CR-V drifted over the center line and hit an oncoming 2023 Hyundai Tucson. Struick was injured and taken by ambulance to Kittitas Valley Healthcare in Ellensburg. Her 3 passengers were not hurt. One of the 4 occupants of the Tucson also hospitalized. They were taken to Confluence Health Hospital. Troopers say Struick will be cited for distracted driving and improper lane use. Chelan County officials say they were able to carry out the first large-scale cleanup of a former homeless encampment under their new county ordinance that says they can do that. From December 12th to the 18th, housing and behavioral health workers, as well as sheriff's deputies, made contact with residents of a camp out in Malaga. They've been growing for several months. It was on 3.5 acres of county land. The new ordinances make it public camping on county property a nuisance. That's subject to a citation, but nobody was actually cited during the cleanup. 5 of 7 people accepted offers for shelter elsewhere, and on December 18th, after their departure, the county rolled in and carted off an estimated 130 cubic yards of garbage and 5,000 pounds of metal. Housing and code enforcement agents called the cleanup and outreach a big success. The 19-year-old Kent man accused of fleeing from the Washington State Patrol while driving a stolen SUV is now criminally charged in both counties. Prosecutors in Chelan and Douglas counties filed a total of 8 criminal counts on Thursday against Stephen DeMore Thomas Jr. Those charges including vehicle theft, theft of a firearm, unlawful weapon possession, and failing to obey police. Thomas allegedly tried to escape from a traffic stop a week ago near the Big Y intersection of Highway 2 and Highway 97. The stolen vehicle, a Lincoln MKX, eventually crashed into the southbound ditch on Highway 97. The driver ran on foot, then got caught. Inside the vehicle, police say they found a rifle and 2 handguns, one of which had been stolen from an East Wenatchee household that very day, along with the SUV itself and some jewelry. Thomas remains held in the Chelan County Jail on a combined $30,000 bond. A 32-year-old man from the May Valley area just outside of Moses Lake is in custody for allegedly possessing child sexual abuse material. The Grant County Sheriff's Office says it arrested Maxwell S. Homer on Friday morning after an investigation into the online child pornography that lasted 10 months. In tandem with the arrest, authorities served a search warrant at Homer's residence in the 3000 block of Road F Northeast. He is still in the Grant County Jail, by the way. Police say they'll seek charges against Homer, including 5 counts of sharing child sexual abuse images and 2 counts of first-degree voyeurism. Grant County detectives were assisted by the Washington State Patrol, the United States Department of Homeland Security, and other agencies. Food banks in our area have seen a sizable increase in need as this year draws to a close. Mike Malman with Serve Wenatchee Valley says this year his charitable outreach group has distributed about 121,000 pounds of food to those facing hunger. That's about a 60% increase since 2022. The Chelan Douglas Community Action Council is serving almost 2 million pounds of food this year. That's a similar increase since just last year. Upper Valley Mend in Leavenworth has served more than 1,200 households this year, compared to about 980 last year. What's going on? Well, they attribute much of the need to higher food costs at the supermarket, as well as declining food stamp benefits after the surges during the pandemic. And we have a new boss. The media company that owns both NCWLIFE and the Wenatchee World has a new CEO, or will shortly. Josh O'Connor, currently Senior Vice President of Carpenter Media, has been named to lead WIC Communications, which of course acquired this television station back in October. He was previously president of Sound Publishing and publisher of the Everett Daily Herald newspaper. O'Connor takes over the helm of the family-owned Arizona company from the current CEO, Francis Wick, who announced back in August that he would be stepping down. He'll remain in a leadership role until O'Connor joins the company come February. That's the news. At 14 minutes after the hour, it's going to be an interesting week. We'll have the news for you tonight, Monday and Tuesday, and then the news will be off for the rest of the week because, quite frankly, they could use the break. But tonight, if you want to know what's going on during this holiday season, watch the news at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock on TV, 5, 6, and 10 on television. If that doesn't fit in your schedule, it'll be up and running on the World Wide Web, so you can watch the news whenever you want to by going to our YouTube page, our homepage, our Facebook page. It's out there somewhere. We also have an app, by the way. And if something out there you think is newsworthy, you'll let us know by sending us an email, news@ncwlife.com. Seahawks let a golden opportunity for a big victory slip through their hands in more ways than one. Sports is next. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel.
Central Washington Water is your hot spring spa dealer for over 45 years. Shop their showroom and see the new Freshwater Smart IQ. This is a new innovative approach to super simple water care combined with the freshwater salt system to give you clean, balanced spa water naturally. There's a hot tub for every budget. Save up to $1,000 on hot spring spas or buy plug-and-play spas starting at $79 per month. Why shop anywhere else? Central Washington Water. They service what they sell.
The family at the Epladolin want to help your loved one feel at ease in their new home environment. Epladolin offers beautiful one-bedroom and studio apartments. Residents enjoy 3 delicious home-style meals a day, laundry service, housekeeping service, and encouragement to make themselves cozy in their new home. Epladolin welcomes your family to come and visit their family. Epladolin, independent and assisted living. They make the complicated easy for you. Call today for a tour.
When you buy tires at Les Schwab, you're getting more than just tires. You're getting America's best tire warranty, 60-day satisfaction guarantee, no hassle road hazard protection, and free maintenance for the life of your tires. So if something happens to your tire on the road, we'll fix it, or we'll replace it, no questions asked. Other places make you pay extra for that kind of protection, but at Les Schwab, it's included with every set of tires, because more warranty means less worry, and nobody stands by their tires like Les Schwab. Get more from Les.
It's that time of year again to get the Honda of your dreams during Happy Honda Days, where you'll find great offers on a sporty new Civic, spirited Accord, fun to drive HRV, and versatile CRV. So don't wait, turn your holiday dreams into reality with a new Honda named KBB.com's best value brand. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
Well, the Seahawks lost control of their playoff destiny yesterday. They got to win out now, and they need help from other teams in order to make the playoffs. Despite scoring to take its first lead of the day late in the fourth quarter, they could not keep Sam Darnold out of the end zone one more time, and the Vikings win. Here are your highlights. Starts out with Minnesota. The Vikings taking the opening kickoff. I think we have the highlights. And here we go. Well, quite frankly, he was just verklempt. Here it is.
It's a great football game. We got to give Minnesota a lot of credit. You know, the reason that their record is what it is and what their record is in one-score games. because they're a good football team. We hung right in there. We had an opportunity to win the game, and we didn't. You know, there's things in all three phases that we can do better, but we also did a lot of great things, give ourselves a chance to win. And so we're on a short week, so we got to go back to work in about an hour. We'll be back and we'll rock it. We got a good plan, but fate is not in our hand. Our destiny is not in our hands right now, which is tough. But we have still a ton of football to play for. I mean, break here or there, we're right back in it and we're rolling. So, you know, we'll dust ourselves off, chin up, chest out, and move forward, and onward we go.
Geno Smith, of course, threw 2 critical interceptions, and after the game he said, "My bad."
You know, it's always tough when you you don't get a win. You know, I thought our guys fought, you know, throughout the entire game. You know, I thought our offensive line protected me well. You know, we gave ourselves a shot, obviously didn't get it done. You know, not how we wanted to close it out at home, but, you know, got a short week, got to get back to it, man. We got to get our minds right and get back to work.
Can you take us to what you saw in the final play there?
It's an interception, man. Anything you see that goes wrong, put it on me. Anything that don't look right, put it on me.
Seattle drops now to 8-7, so to make the playoffs, basically they have to win their last 2 games, and then they have to have a couple of teams, you know, like declare bankruptcy and drop out of the league. We shall see. While the Seahawks were losing, Arizona was eliminated from any playoff contention with a 36-30 overtime loss of Carolina. Rams took another step towards the NFC West title. They beat the Jets, but everybody does, 19-9, and the 49ers dropped to 6-9. They lost to the Dolphins in Miami, 29-17. First round of the college football playoffs, no surprises. All the home teams won, and they won handily. Notre Dame ended Indiana's season Friday night, 27-17. Penn State, no problems over the Mustangs on Saturday, 38-10. Texas beat Clemson. The final was 38-24. It wasn't that close. Ohio State blew out Tennessee, 42-17, and it wasn't that close. So we were set up for the second round, and now it's bowl games in addition to the second round of the college football playoffs. The All-State Sugar Bowl, Notre Dame and Georgia, that'll be New Year's Eve, 5:45 on ESPN. The New Year's Day, you got football, followed by football, followed by football. 10 a.m., Texas, Arizona State in the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. At 2 o'clock, the granddaddy of them all, the Rose Bowl, presented by Prudential. It's Ohio State and Oregon. Go Buckeyes. And then the Verbo Fiesta Bowl, 4:30, New Year's Day, Penn State, Boise State, also on ESPN. After a 6-2 drubbing by Vegas on Saturday, the Kraken finished off their pre-holiday NHL schedule with another loss, 5-2 at Colorado last night. Seattle did have a brief lead at one point, but they couldn't hold on. The Avalanche added 2 goals down the stretch on empty netters. John Forslund had the call on Kong TV.
Makes them look easy, and they're not, right? Makar.
That is correct, Johnny.
Thank you. They need reinforcement, positive reinforcement. They score! Cale Makar threw a screen out in front. Nichushkin was parked in front of Joey Decord. Makar gets the goal on the power play, and Colorado breaks the ice. Will get it out to center, or will he? Stripped by Ross Colton. And Gord touches off for Shane Wright. He'll gain the zone. Gord, Wright, in front, they score! That's hockey, baby! Jared McCann with the finish, and he was set up beautifully by Shane Wright.
The right guy got the puck about 8 feet out in front of... It's in, it's in!
They score right off the draw, Capo Caco. As the Kraken get to a loose puck, and Capo Caco has his first goal as a Seattle Kraken.
Capo Caco to get his first as a Kraken.
McKinnon knocking on the door. They score. They answer right back. Val Nichushkin. Myers below the line. Makar defending. And it's laid out. Jailbreak. Mikko Rantanen with a teammate. Kiviranta. He scores. Joel Kiviranta. Centering pass cut off. McCann tries to make it happen. Kiviranta has control. He hits it. Joel Kiviranta. Gord, right a shot wide. There goes Decord. 6 out with $1:37 on the clock. Parker Kelly To the outside, a chance, another goal. Another empty net tally. Colorado will sweep the 3-game season series as they count it out here. And they will surround the winning goaltender, Mackenzie Blackwood.
Next up for Seattle, in Vancouver, they'll take on the Canucks Saturday afternoon at 1 o'clock on both King 5 and Kong TV. All right, prep basketball over the weekend. We'll do this chronologically. Friday, in boys basketball, Ephrata dumped Quincy 53-46. Cashmere won at home over Wenatchee's Valley 70-45. Chelan rolled over Cascade 70-28. Tenasket passed Colville 74-57. Okanagan got by Napavine 70-62. Adna edging Brewster. Nia Bay nipping Manson. Aniat downing Curlew, and Oroville beating Wilson Creek. Girls scores on Friday. Quincy edged Ephrata in the Battle of the Basin. Cashmere got by Natchez Valley. Chelan beat Cascade. Napavine topped Okanagan. Colville took down Tenasket on Friday night. Rainier edged Brewster. Curlew clobbered Aniat. Oroville edged Wilson Creek, and Pateras beat Nia Bay. Boys basketball Saturday. Pasco got by the Panthers 68-61. Moses Lake lost at Ridgeline 77-63. Sela blows out Ephrata. Wow, 81-36. Quincy got by Othello. Royal won at Cashmere 89-51. Waterville Mansfield down Cascade. Napavine topped Brewster. Lake Roosevelt edged Nia Bay. Okanagan got by Adna, and Manson got by Kittitas. Girls scores on Saturday. Ridgeline beat Moses Lake 68-36. Sela skated past Ephrata 60-21. Royal edged Cashmere. Cascade popped Lake Roosevelt. Brewster beat Napavine. Rainier picked up a 56-37 win over Okanagan. Kittitas over Manson 58-33. Nia Bay got by Waterville Mansfield, and Republic no trouble with Oroville 40-19. And those are just some of the games that people are playing at 27 minutes after the hour. Happy Festivus. Yes, it is Festivus. It is a Festivus for the rest of us. Always celebrated on December 23rd. The Seinfeld episode in question, entitled The Gift, actually aired on December 17th, but the events of that episode take place on December 23rd. Festivus was created by the family of Dan O'Keefe, who was one of the top writers on Seinfeld. His dad invented Festivus in 1966 as a non-holiday, and of course it popped up in culture in 1997 with the famous Seinfeld episode when Dan O'Keefe, whose dad invented Festivus, wrote the episode that Festivus is built on. You have, of course, the holiday dinner, which is a O'Keefe family tradition. The airing of grievances after dinner is served. The grievances are aired with all the family members stating one at a time all the things that they didn't like about each other and what disappointed them with their various family members. The feats of strength, again, another O'Keefe family tradition. The wrestling match. The Festivus miracle, which is always a requirement. The only thing that they just made up that wasn't part of the O'Keefe family tradition of Festivus in the mid-1960s was the holiday pole. The aluminum pole that was not part of the original O'Keefe family tradition. It was invented by Jeff Schaefer, a writer on Seinfeld. It's a Festivus miracle. Happy Festivus, always celebrated December 23rd, if you are so inclined. Today in history in this country, we have the precedent of civilian control of the military, which was a kind of a new thing. Of course, first of all, the military has to give up whatever control that they had, and they did. George Washington, on this date, December 23rd, 1783, resigns his commission as Commander-in-Chief of the Continental Army. He does it at the State House in Maryland, in Annapolis, Maryland. His voluntary action saying, okay, we won the war. We have decided that we are going to govern ourselves without the military, because this is basically once the military has a toehold. They really don't like to give up the power, but George said, nope, we got to do this the right way. I'm going to give up my Commander-in-Chief. I'm leaving the Army. Civilians will control the military and not the military controlling the military, and that's how we're going to go about doing it. It was considered one of the great acts of statesmanship. Thanks, George. He did that on this date in 1783. December 23rd, 1970, 54 years ago today, the late lamented North Tower of the World Trade Center in Manhattan has its topping out ceremony at 1,368 feet. So on this date in 1970, the North Tower of the World Trade Center will become the tallest building in the world. It would remain so until 1974, when it was surpassed by the Sears Tower in Chicago. We're going to take you back to October of 1972, October 13th, 1972, not December 23rd. We'll get to that in a minute, because on October 13th, 1972, that's when the famous Air Force flight in carrying the soccer team from Uruguay crashed in the Andes. 28, of course, survived the crash on October 13th, and then they went looking for them. They couldn't find them. They gave up. They said, we're never going to find them. The survivors, there were 16 of them, realized if we're going to get rescued, we got to do it ourselves. So they went down the Andes, were eventually discovered. And on this date, December 23rd, 1972, 73 days after the plane crashed, the 16 survivors were rescued. 28 actually survived the crash, but there were only 16 left when they were discovered. And then, of course, it was discovered in the days following that they had to succumb to hunger, and they were, well, they said, as you see the headline coming up, yeah, we resorted to cannibalism. I mean, what were we supposed to do? If you ever see the movie, well, you can watch the movie. It's not for the faint of heart. That was 52 years ago today. They were found, and then they admitted they had to eat the survivors to survive. And 49 years ago today, they played the 1975 season, Dave McNally and Andy Messersmith, without signing their contracts. Now, they were paid, but they refused to sign the option year of their contracts, and then they went to, as previously arranged, arbitration. The owners voted they are not free agents, but Peter Seitz declares Andy Messersmith and Dave McNally unrestricted free agents, and with that, the reserve clause died, and any player could play so long as they didn't sign their contract and they got paid, and they would become free agents when the contract expired. The reserve clause is dead. The average salary for a Major League Baseball player in 1975 was $44,676. Today, the average salary for a Major League Baseball player is almost $5 million. Free agency is here. The reserve clause, which kept a player beholden to his team for life, was gone. Birthdays. At 33 minutes after the hour, the incredibly talented Harry Shearer is 81 years old today. Started as a child actor in movies in the early 1950s, but of course, we know him as the voice of Principal Skinner, Kent Brockman, Mr. Burns, Waylon Smithers, Ned Flanders, Reverend Lovejoy, Dr. Hibbert, Lenny Leonard, Automan, Rainier Wolfcastle, Scratchy, Dr. Marvin Monroe, Judge Snyder. Harry Shearer from The Simpsons is 81 years old. Eddie Vedder, not of The Simpsons, but he's been on the show, is 60 years old today. Of course, the lead vocalist, guitarist, and lyricist of Pearl Jam. Happy 60th to Eddie Vedder, and happy 22nd to Finn Wolfhard, the great actor Finn Wolfhard. I've never heard of him, but other people who watch this show have, and I try to keep up with what's going on. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. They are our platinum sponsors, and we appreciate that. Mike McNally has got an opinion, and then Bob Boogert is back at it. He has been returned as the executive director of the Chelan Douglas Land Trust, and he and Jefferson Robbins sat down last week. That conversation is next. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel. Continuing our conversation about think tanks, you went to one in Salt Lake City a number of years ago. You said it was life-changing. And we're also kind of touching on the subject that you get a bunch of experts together in the same room, or you bring in outside people. It's amazing that the people who are supposed to be the teachers, the experts, ended up learning more than the students, so to speak, using that analogy, Brady.
I think that it goes back to the book I first read when I first started my personal growth journey was the law of lifetime growth. Like those entrepreneurs, those business people, they live in a world of growth. They want to be in the room with the right people. They want to be in the room, and they're learners. They're constant life learners. And I think like our life journey, the first thing that should happen is personal growth and professional growth should be coming from these type of events where you're constantly growing. Because that growth and that knowledge that you gain in these different events turn into tons and tons of value, which again, what follows value? People follow value and money follows people. And it creates an amazing, business model, whatever the business is. I remember my first event I went to, I sat through this, 3 or 4 day mastermind, like you mentioned, in Salt Lake City. And I just realized I knew nothing, right? As a 24-year-old kid, 25-year-old kid, I was like, I knew very, very little of the high level thinking that goes on, but behind some of these business owners and these entrepreneurs. And so it made me want to gain more knowledge because I was like, man, I'm at a really low level, right? And that's constantly what I've searched out and done, I think.
This is Mike Mad Dog McNally, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, a question I ask most of my counseling clients is this: what do you want? Now, lots of folks say they want to be happy, but they need to think deeper than that. What is it that they want from life? What are they working for? At the end of their time on this mortal coil, how do they want to be remembered? Who is the person they want to be? And do they want this enough to do what's necessary to achieve it? Now, this is a good question to ask yourself, and one I often ask myself. What do I really want? And is how I'm living my life helping me get it? This is Mike Mad Dog McNally, and that's my opinion.
This is the time of year we celebrate family, traditions, and great food. At Abby's, our legendary pizzas are so giant, they feed up to 6 happy family members. When you need a break from cooking, think Abby's. Our place or your place, our family is here for your family.
Let's go to Hawaii for the holidays.
Here's an easier idea. Enjoy Abby's classic Big Hawaiian Pizza this December. This delicious tropical and giant pizza is at a special holiday price. And when you gift an Abby's gift card, we'll give you a present too.
I think that's a power line.
Nailed it.
What the?
Are you gonna call 911 or should I?
Actually, we're late. I'm just gonna drive over it.
Afraid not. Down power lines are super dangerous. If you see one, you call it in.
Yeah, I just drove up to a down power line.
She gets it.
Downtown Wenatchee, something for everyone. Find custom floral designs for any occasion at Mountain Chick Floral. Even more wonderful plants and gifts abound in every corner in their new location at 7A South Wenatchee Avenue.
The original children's shop in downtown Wenatchee. We strive to bring you the most quality, fashionable, and fun clothing for your little ones, along with gifts, toys, and accessories. I look forward to meeting you soon at the original children's shop.
Downtown Wenatchee, it's all here.
Jefferson Robbins with NCWLIFE. Let's say you're the Chelan Douglas Land Trust. You manage 27,000 acres of land in both Chelan and Douglas counties. You've just parted ways with your executive director. Who do you call? You might call somebody with about 10 years of experience in that field, your former director, Bob Boogert. Thanks for joining me today, Bob.
Well, thank you for having me, Jefferson.
You are here again after a hiatus. Tell us a little bit about yourself, how you came to the Land Trust, what you did when you left and what brought you back.
Oh, okay. Well, thanks. Yeah. So I am honored to be able to come here and serve in this moment to help the Land Trust start the process of searching for its next executive director. And so it's an honor and a privilege to be able to do that. Yeah, as you said, I worked for about 10 years for the Chelan Douglas Land Trust from about 2007 to 2017, right about there. I then really enjoyed the process of working with the community. I learned so much in that process and enjoyed just the opportunity to meet people, to hear the different facets of our community. And it really became apparent to me that I'd really like to try it at a different level. And so that was when I made the decision with my wife and others to seek running for Chelan County Commission. And I was fortunate to be able to serve then as a county commission for District 2, which is pretty much the greater Wenatchee Valley come down into town. And it was a tremendous experience, tremendous growth for me, very rewarding, difficult work, but very rewarding. So then my wife Carolyn and I, we retired come 2023, and I've been doing some volunteer work for different organizations since. And then this came up, and the Land Trust did need some assistance right at this stage. So I agreed to come back and to serve in this capacity for a series of couple months here. And primarily what I'll be doing is to be working with them to set the stage for hiring our next executive director and to really do a pretty robust and thorough search for that.
You don't have long to accomplish any of your goals here, Bob. You have a 4-month agreement with the Land Trust to steer it on an interim basis. So in 4 months, what kind of markers are you hoping to achieve?
Well, the primary thing that we'll be doing right now is working to set up a search committee for our executive director. We just had a board meeting last night where we do have a wonderful consulting firm based out of Seattle, Clover Searchworks, that will be doing a lot of the groundwork for us in our national search that we will have. And they were wonderful enough that they are providing a great bulk of the service pro bono for us because they feel strongly about the ethic and the mission of the Land Trust. So we're grateful for that. We'll be setting up, I just started actually today, working on our rubric for what kind of skills, qualifications, and core competencies, I guess you'd call it, for what we want to see in an executive director. We really think that it will be a national search, Jefferson, but we really want to pay special attention to seeking out folks from within this general area, within the region, that there's having that understanding of the culture and the vibe and the relationships is really important. That I know during my tenure here, the 10 years that I served as director, that really the developing relationships with landowners, with donors, with community leaders is paramount, and that we really want to place as a special consideration in our search. So again, it's a national search, but I am really going to be reaching out to the community to see if there's anybody here that would be interested, that has the skills, the demeanor, the leadership skills to be able to take the Land Trust to the next level.
Because it's the Chelan Douglas Land Trust, and Chelan Douglas describes a community. Anybody who's from here can sort of tell you our concerns are specific, our feelings toward the land are specific, the ways we use and engage with the land are pretty specific.
Yeah, it's, if anything, you learn real quickly when you work at the Land Trust that people are really tied to their land. They love their land. It is a part of their being. And so to be able to have that kind of understanding and ability to relate to them at that level is really important. And so that's a special consideration that we have.
Did your role as an elected representative, Bob, do you think it's changed your perspective on the needs of the land trust or how the land trust's missions could be established or could be met?
Yeah, I think so. You know, that this is a community that really we are a diversifying economy. And it's really interesting to really explore that and to see what, how the land trust views itself within that economy, and that, you know, we are still very much an agricultural-based economy here, but there are other facets that are very important and that we need to be mindful of that. I think also that some of the forest practices that are getting to be increasingly important, we need to be very mindful of. We have a lot of forested lands ourselves, and so we are really adopting some of the best practices that are being now established. And there's a lot of things related to how to make your lands more resilient to climate change, and we've had some great work done by some of our top-notch scientists within the region to really come up with some recommendations for us. So that's pretty important to us, and so we'll be incorporating that.
You came from a science background before you joined the Land Trust. You were a fisheries biologist, yes. And you contributed some of that expertise as a volunteer with the Land Trust before joining it as director. So, do you think that an incoming director should have some kind of science, wildlife acumen, some kind of plant biology acumen? Would that be helpful in the position?
It would certainly be helpful, but it's not necessary. I think really good organizational skills, really good people skills, really good public speaking skills are important. Having it, you can learn a lot of the things. I came in not knowing very much, Jefferson, about how to construct a conservation easement, which is a legally binding document, how to create and craft that, how to negotiate it with the landowner to make sure their needs are met, but also to ensure that conservation values are protected. There are folks on the Land Trust staff and volunteers that have that legal and real estate background that quickly brought me up to speed, so I can at least be conversant. I wasn't an expert, but I was conversant in that. And I think that's also a situation for a lot of the natural resource sciences, that to become conversant is important, and we can work with people as far as getting there. But it's really those people skills that are so very important.
Land Trust Director is sort of a project manager kind of role, I think, in that you have agreements and programs that you're trying to push forward, and sometimes they move by inches, yes. And sometimes they take great leaps forward.
Yes, they do, yeah. And so it really is to work at the pace of the landowner so that we make sure that they are satisfied and that their goals are realized. A lot of these, they do take many years, perhaps a decade.
Did you expect to return to the Land Trust, Bob? I mean, when you left the county commission, you were looking toward retirement, and you said, you know, this is my path from here on out.
So I had plans to really to volunteer for the Land Trust. Really, what spoke to me was to be able to be one of the work crews out in the field, working on trails, managing things like that. Actually, use my hands, but. Right at this time, this was the most pressing need, and I could provide some service in any way I can here. And you know, I'm just fortunate that I do have good and positive relationships with the board, with the staff here, and with a lot of the donors that have been so very good to us through the years.
Well, you could have said no. You could have said no, so why say yes?
This organization means a lot to me. And I just want to make sure it's successful. And I'm confident, totally confident of that. Now that I'm here, now that I've seen what they've got going on, I'm quite confident, yeah. Do
you have a favorite spot among the properties the Land Trust owns or oversees?
Boy, I love the White River. You know, that I certainly kayak that every year. That is something, a must-do in my realm, that's for sure. And there's some families up there, like the Gray family, that they love that land. They've been there for multiple generations, and it's just really neat to touch bases with them on their land and to have them tell stories, what they got going on. And we got lots of examples like that, Jefferson, of people that truly love their land, and it's a big part of their being, and that they are coming to us to help them to realize their long-term goals. So it's neat to see, yeah.
People come to the Wenatchee Valley and to Chelan and Douglas counties in large part because of the natural beauty of it.
Yeah.
The more of us who come here, the more we put that kind of beauty at risk. Do you see the Land Trust's role as being a way to conserve the land kind of in situ as it was found? Or is the mission broader and deeper than that?
Oh, it's broader and deeper, certainly. Yeah, that some of the lands that, we've got some tremendous dryland ranches up in Douglas County area that are really actively managed, and that's the way the landowners want it to be. And so it's pretty neat to see, so we can help them in that whole process, realize that by using conservation easements as a tool for them to diversify their income source off of that land and to provide the assurance that they need that the land will be managed in that way really fulfills a lot of their goals. And so I think there's other lands that by their very nature, we manage them for outdoor recreation. Some of the Wenatchee foothills are great examples of that. And our big goal there, Jefferson, all along has been to make it as totally accessible as it can be for everybody, regardless of their economic status, their background, where they live, really to have the hope, and we're fulfilling that hope of having an access point within 10 minutes of anybody's home here within the community. So it is readily available regardless of your background or economic status. So it's managed that way. And so that's a big part of what we're raising funds for. We've got some great work going on with our partner organization, TREAD, to really looking at strengthening and diversifying our funding strategy for managing those lands, because they are hugely popular. As I don't know if you've been out on the foothills in a fine April morning, it is booming, and but they're almost being loved to death. And so we are really coming up with ways that we can better manage and make sure that the trails are in tip-top shape, so that just those areas that are used by people are being accessed and not going elsewhere. And so that's an important thing that we're doing. So we're diversifying and strengthening our funding there. We're also opening up a lot of new lands for outdoor recreation to kind of spread the wealth, if you will, give people more opportunities, more options. We've got some very generous donors that really worked with us for Cashmere Canyons, which is a remarkable piece of property just right outside of Cashmere, up a Hay Canyon, Naham Canyon area that is now available for hikers during certain times of the season. And we've got other areas up around Leavenworth that we're looking at right now that we've got opportunities for. And a lot of that is really specifically based on, it is protection and good sound management of shrub steppe habitat, but it is also making sure that people have opportunities to get out. And another thing that the Land Trust is really doing, hope I'm not going on too much here,
please,
is that some people just don't have the opportunity to get out. And so we've got some great staff here that are really creating new ways to appreciate the natural world. They're just starting up a book club for people to really have discussion groups and to read books about reverence for nature and for the just the diverse ways that one can appreciate nature. So we're looking at different groups like that and opportunities, because for many people that the outdoor world can be a spiritual thing as well. And so to create opportunities for that. A lot of partnerships that we've got going on related to that.
Well, the climate crisis is a real thing, Bob, and agencies like yours, organizations like yours, kind of put themselves on the front lines of that, I think. You are maybe seen as, well, by conserving land, I can defend against the encroachment of climate, or by keeping land as it is, we can do our local part to head that off. Does the Chelan Douglas Land Trust sort of see itself in that way in terms of stewardship?
Yes, yeah. So we've got some great work that Dr. Bill Gaines and Dr. Paul Hesberg and many other scientists have really come up with some really great recommendations on some of the criteria that we should be using for protecting and restoring lands. And so a lot of those are related to what are the needs of salmon, steelhead, and invertebrates to look at what should be saved and what should be protected. And that really helps us to make some informed decisions about some of our land management opportunities there. We really want to be quite strategic in those lands that we select in our work plan to make sure that they do have good conservation values, and so that we can use the donations and the grants that we receive in the best, most practical, most efficient use possible.
Bob Boogert, Interim Director with the Chelan Douglas Land Trust. Thanks a lot for letting us come by and talk to us.
Thank you, Jefferson. I really do, and enjoy it. Yeah.
You're watching the NCWLIFE channel.
It's a beautiful morning. I just stepped outside, lots of sunshine and about 30 degrees, not a cloud to be had in the Wenatchee Valley. That is going to change as the day progresses. As far as weather is concerned for this whole week, one more quick look at this slide from the National Weather Service. Today is going to be the quietest day of the week. We're going to see the clouds roll in and thicken up, but we will be dry. Things change a little bit tonight. We should see some rain in the valley tonight with some light snow in the mountain passes. Same deal tomorrow. Light rain in the Wenatchee Valley, light snow in the mountain passes. On Tuesday night, Christmas Eve, not a lot happening. The most active weather is going to be in the mountains on Christmas night. They're expecting quite a bit of snow in the Cascade Mountains, especially on Stevens Pass. We could have some significant travel problems there. So in detail, again, it's sunshine right now. It will not be by the middle of the afternoon as the clouds begin to thicken up. We'll top off at 42, very warm for this time of the year. Rain overnight tonight from about 10 o'clock in the evening till about 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. We'll get down to 36. Dry for the most part on Tuesday, maybe even some late afternoon sun breaks on Christmas Eve. And on Christmas Eve, partly cloudy, 32. Christmas Day proper. Snow level is going to be about 2,000 feet. Rain in the valley, quite a bit of snow Wednesday night in the mountain passes. Rain on Thursday, rain and mild on Friday. Very mild and rain expected Saturday. Very mild and rain expected on Sunday with snow in the passes. That is where your white Christmas will be. Have a good and safe Monday. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.